hold on to your vaginas, everybody, because we're reviewing M3GAN 2.0.
That's right. Today we are talking about... We're talking about this bitch. We're doing...
You're my hero, Ashley.
You're gonna be so proud of me.
That was so good.
Oh, yes. Okay, so we are talking about M3GAN 2.0. I couldn't help it. Oh, that's such a good intro. What's going to be hard to top that?
Let it be known to the audience that Ashlyn had to do that because Andrew didn't have the balls to do it. He didn't have the balls to say vagina on this.
I didn't have the vagina, first of all.
You're
balls
absolutely
are weak.
correct. You're absolutely correct on that. Nice recovery. Doesn't make up for it, but nice recovery. You did recover slightly.
Okay, let's jump into
oh
this
my
movie.
God.
So, Ashley and I just saw the first one literally like a week ago for the first time ever.
I know. Don't come for us, guys.
If you guys stop watching because of that, I don't blame you. It's a really terrible fact that they haven't seen it.
They might stop watching for that intro, or they might start watching. I don't know.
But, we gained audience for that. We gained.
You better clock hard for not seeing that movie.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, so we just saw it the first time a week ago, and you know, it's one of those things where clearly very late to the game. We've had many friends, Steven included, talking about it for a long time, saying we need to check this out. It's not what you think it is, and it absolutely wasn't. Like, it was so like subversive in its way of doing the story, way different than I thought it was going to be. Because you see the trailers for like the original one, and you're like, yeah, I know exactly how this is playing out. You know, it's like what is it? It's Chucky meets
Terminator.
Well, Terminator. I was gonna say there's the one with like the robot, and it was like a serious one that came out. My head goes to Vox Machina, but it's not Vox Machina because that's the Critical Role.
Oh, Ex Machina. Ex Machina with a. Oh yeah. Great movie. Great movie.
Combine all that into this, like into the horror genre or whatever, and no, that was absolutely not the case. So it had such a unique voice to it. Is the best way I can put it. But this is on a whole nother level. This movie, it takes what you from the beginning, from the first one, and you're just like, hey, guess what? What if we completely change genres in this, and now this is like, you know, an action adventure, even more Terminator style film than the first one was. Although, to be fair, they did that with the first versus second Terminator movie to begin with. So like, it is literally Terminator like 2.0 in that. But yeah, I can't even talk too much about this right now. So we're going to start with our resident M3GAN expert on the panel, which is not me, and it is not Ashlyn, who did a fantastic intro, by the way. It is Steven. So, Steven, I want to hear your thoughts as a massive fan of the first one and now the second movie, as far as I know. What did you think of M3GAN 2.0?
Oh, man. Well, she's back. Listen, ever since we finished the first movie, which we saw in theaters 3 times, just Cindy and I, 3 times, we saw the first M3GAN theater. Ever since the end of that movie, I'm like craving more of this character. When you're talking about like horror movie icons, organically like becoming icons, we haven't seen a lot of that like in the last 25-ish years. Ghostface was the last really, really, really big one, but now we've had Art the Clown recently, and now M3GAN. and her popularity exploding. The first movie was so good. I could not have been more and more excited about this. And when it seemed via the trailers this was going to have a genre switch, I was surprised how little it bothered me that we were changing genres. Watching this movie, you're from the very first moment, you're in full suspended belief. It is just entertainment, pure entertainment. And she's still the same maniac doll that she was in the first movie. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. The stuff that I really loved about the first movie is definitely present in this one, which is which is mostly like uh, the comedy is ever present in this movie. The first one was so funny, and you kind of wonder, when you're watching the second one, you start to watch it, you're like, well, are they going to be able to recapture? They literally give us a lot of the exact same bits from the first movie, and they work perfectly in the second movie. Like, I'm like, the second movie actually made me realize to what extent I loved the first movie in this character. Like, it reinforced that love. It built the world up. My brain it's like a mile a minute with like everything I liked about this movie. I thought it was so well executed, and I think that's the magic of M3GAN 1 and 2. It's that they're bad ideas, like on the surface level. Not that they brought a bad idea to the table, but just on the surface level. If I was explaining to you the plot of the first movie, especially the plot of the second movie, there'd be groans and, oh my god, really, you're gonna watch that garbage? They're executed so well. They know their audience. They know this character. Whoever does the voice for M3GAN, I don't even remember. I knew her name at one point, but the brilliant voice actress. Like that voice is now iconic. Very funny. A lot of great. Actually, I was going to say a lot of great additions to the cast, but we really only had three like additions to the main cast, which was Christian, the activist kind of boyfriend that works, Christian. And then we had Emilia, which is the spoiler alert. We didn't do a spoiler alert at the beginning of the video, I don't think so.
Spoiler alert.
No, yeah, spoilers now. Emilia, which is the evil robot that is out to destroy the world. And then we have Jermaine Clement from it's Jermaine, right? It's Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords is the Elon Musk character. Oh my god. I'm so bummed, like we said, spoiler, so bummed he died. Like, I hope they bring him back, like technology, like they bring him back somehow in the next one. But he was hilarious. Like, I was such a great addition. But the first like 25 minutes of this movie could be any movie until M3GAN shows up. Like, it really, there's a lot of like world setting and like plot, getting the plot ready to take off when she enters the chat, but it really is like you're missing her for those first like 25-ish minutes. And you don't really miss her in the first movie because you don't know M3GAN in the first movie yet, and you're kind of you're growing accustomed to like what they're trying to do, and they have that really funny toy commercial in the beginning of the first movie. This one, you're just waiting for her to show up, and show up she does. And she puts her little boot on your neck and never lets up the whole movie. So great. This movie filled me, like, every time she did something badass or funny, it filled me with so much joy. Like, joy that I rarely get to experience in the movies anymore. Stupid, fun joy. If I had a criticism to lay at the feet of this movie, it would be that we didn't get another hour of this movie. I would have loved just an hour of the implication, the fallout from what happened in the first hour and 40 whatever minutes is so good. That being said, just so like, it's not the height of cinema. It's not gonna change your life unless you really well, it changed my life. Ever since M3GAN's entered my life, I'm happy again. No, but it's not gonna change your life. The message is shockingly well articulated. And that was the most surprising thing. Is it feels that's where the movie almost felt out of place because they're like, there's this ever growing danger we're surrounded by that we can't put our finger on because of AI. What is AI going to replace? What is AI going to convince people to do or think or feel? That every day you see some new video that's like, oh my God, how did they make that? How did they just, that's data, data entry, and then poof, it's here's like anything you can imagine. And it has cool, there's some small part of me that's like, oh, that could create some really cool things. What if you could type describe a Star Wars movie of your dreams into AI and it would just produce 2 hours for you to watch right there. It looks as good as anything that a Hollywood studio can produce. That almost sounds nice, like in a certain world, but realistically, this is an unregulated, unaccountable machine that's marching towards destroying a lot of the things that we love. A lot of the people that we hold in high regard, like their jobs and their creative lives are threatened. um and that's what blew me away about the movie. It had a very well constructed message. It just was like on top of the Megan stuff. Like it was like kind of around it and surrounding it. And again, spoilers, like the I didn't the villain of the movie was only villainous, similarly to our previous review, which is probably going to be out by now, which is the ballerina, the new John Wick movie. The villain, they had to make him do comically villainous things right at the end because what they were actually doing was like, oh yeah, I actually totally agree with what they're doing, like what the villain bad guys are doing. It's smart. Like it's what I wish our government was doing to regulate this technology. And the only reason you dislike the bad guy is because he's willing to kill our main characters and kill Megan. Big mistake. That listen,
Huge.
that all I need to listen. Drop the kid. He already beat up Megan. Now I was done with him. Um, but no, that's the thing. Is like it was a cool twist, and it was a cool like surprisingly like you see it coming from a mile away. I thought maybe the boyfriend was he himself a robot? Was what I kind of say, just because the way the actor was like performing the character. But when it was revealed his true intentions and he's just like business douche, I was like, oh wow, that was a really strong performance from that actor. Know those guys? Like I've been around them and worked with them. Like they're just like kind of especially when he's like guys, I know it's Friday, but you need to calm down. And it's like it was that was interesting. The twist was interesting. But yeah, it was surprisingly layered, and I don't know if they needed to spend the time layering it. I was like, just give us as much Megan as you can. The fight, oh my god, when she goes up to the one dude, I forget his name, and she's like, I see you. She's like, I'm sorry, I could, but then she get great job with those algorithms or whatever actuators or whatever, and she just staring at him like, great job with those actuators. That's so good.
The I see you thing, just having seen it twice now, like it very different context of a scene, but anyone who's ever seen Community, all I can think of is the part from like the first episode with Abed where it's like, I see your
Yes.
now.
Yep. Yep.
And then all I can think of is like Abed returning is like, I see your value now. He's like, well, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said.
Yep. I don't want to. I've taken up a lot of points and a lot of time, but just I have to say before, our theater was actually pretty. The first one we because Andrew saw it with us once, and then he went to see it with Ashlyn, and we saw it opening night. Our first theater was jam packed, like fully sold out theater, and when she starts singing "Woman's Work" to Gemma after talking to her about like what a good parent she thinks she is, we were hyperventilating. Like that is one of the like how Family Guy will do like a joke and they'll keep the joke going until it come like they keep it going a little too long and then it comes around. It's funny again
back.
because of how long it went. That was like it was, I feel like it was the perfect amount of time. I was actually, and it's funny because that's my actual like biggest critique of the whole movie. And I don't have like I would say this is my only critique. Like the only thing that I really was like, damn, I wish I hadn't done that. Because she makes it so serious so quickly by saying, I just need to kill a robot. Go get her, go get Katie. And I was like, I wanted that scene to just breathe and her to get up and walk away. Like I just wanted that scene to be that moment. That is the only mistake like I would point at and be like, the movie could have been better if you had done that. Everything else is like goofy, fun, silly, suspend your disbelief, plot device, whatever. I wish they had just let that scene breathe. Because when she goes like this with her, and it's one of these, but she keeps turning her face back. Because we were
Don't
like,
take it to the chorus.
don't take it to the chorus, Megan. Don't take it to the chorus. And she just ignores her. And that's the thing. Like I think for Justinian and I, when we went to see Megan 1, we had no expectations, so we went into it not really knowing what it was going to be either. And then when she sang "Bulletproof" to Katie, we were the only people in the theater that got it. I think what they were trying that it was funny
Mm-hmm.
because everyone else was like quiet and we are in tears laughing. And it's like it's not. I don't think it's. I think that. I mean, I could be totally off base here, but I think it was the filmmaker's intention for that to be hilarious because
Yeah.
it's like she's a robot who doesn't understand that this is not like a good time to
Yeah.
do to sing this
It's
song to this little
supposed to
girl.
be off-putting and like uncomfortable and stuff like that. Like,
Right. Jacinia had a good not she it was very fair, a very very fair question as to like was the dancing scene as good this one as it was the first one. I like when she spins her body around and says shit. That was
That
funny,
was
but
funny.
like that first dancing scene is so iconic now. It's like the hallway, the dancing scene with the murder, with
Mm,
the paper cutter thing.
yeah.
I will say that I don't think there was any moment in here that is going to grab people the same way that that scene did in the first one. Um, but excellent, excellent sequel. Like what a sequel that it's really rare to see a sequel take a huge departure yet stay true. Like it's very, very hard, as we all know on this, as people, the three of us that deal in sequels all the time, we talk about world building and where a series can go. Um, what a good number two. Super excited for whatever comes next.
well, guys, I think that's it for today. No, I'm just kidding.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my show. Thanks for the introduction, Ashlyn. Thank you. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Anytime.
It was amazing.
Ashlyn, I want to hear your thoughts on this as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. So as Andrew mentioned, we were super late to the game. I think everyone just like hyped this movie up so much, and our preconceived notions kind of got in the way of like being like, oh well we get the gist, right? Like, and we're in the theme parks. We go to horror nights, so we've seen all the like Megan bots and the dancers out. So we're like, okay, we get the gist. We don't need to see the movie. And then when they announced Megan 2, we're like, okay, well we'll get around to it. So with the second one coming out, we watched the movie and it was fine. Like the first one, definitely, like I think watching the second one, I like the second one better. The first one is very sad up front. Like it's just a very sad, serious movie. Not what I thought or expected it was gonna be at all. Um, and then just the introduction of Megan, it's all very like off-putting at times. Like, so there's this doll that's supposed to make this girl that went through this traumatic thing feel like she has a friend and like basically play her therapist in a sense. So like it's definitely very interesting, like being like Megan is her coping tool and everything like that. And so it was funny. Like we both like at the end of the movie were like, yeah, this is funny. I can see why people liked this. Like we'll definitely go see the second one. And then the second one blew me away. It was so funny. It was even funnier, and I was expecting it to be worse, honestly, because the like what they did with all the campaigning for it and everything like that was just the marketing on it was so not what I was expecting to walk into with the film. It was very much a miss. I do, with the scene where they had the M3GAN 2 doll in the like Barbie box and everything, I'm like, where were they headed with that? Because that was not in the film. And so
I think that was a dream. I've read a couple of people online say that might have been like a dream sequence or something that they cut. Like
yeah.
someone might have had a nightmare.
I also
That
think
they cut it. I've
I
heard
mentioned
that.
to Ashlyn yesterday when we saw it that I think that there's a couple of things that were filmed with more of the intention of this is probably just going to be used for promotion than
Ooh, or
than,
Horror Nights.
than for well, just in general, just even promoting the movie because there's the box scene that she's talking about. There's a scene that I remember in one of the trailers where someone's dressed like M3GAN is like I love her
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that, like freaking
Yeah,
out.
where was that? I was
Uh,
really excited for that, like
Yeah.
her to have a fandom.
So I think that, and then there's also like what they did with like the AMC promotions and stuff like that. And there's a couple things that are like for that type of thing. So I think some of it, yeah, it could have been filmed for the movie, but then I think whether it was like left on the cutting room floor or something that they're like, this would probably work better just as like for promotion type thing. But I personally think that it was intentional that there were things that were filmed specifically for promotion sake. Because there's been, it doesn't happen often, but there have been things that like that where this is a very weird example, but it's because I watched a YouTube video talking about the 1999 Godzilla film, and that they basically, because of, again, very different situation, but because it took them so long for the computer graphics stuff to be done and all the special
Mm-hmm.
effects, and even then it was like razor thin, like some people say it wasn't even done, that they couldn't really actually show the creature in the trailers. So there were trailers where it was like just, and I remembered this when they showed it,
The
there's
stomp,
the
the big
stomp
like.
inside the
Yep.
like museum and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
like just the foot that like stomps on the T-Rex like skeleton or something like that.
Yep.
That was one of their promotion things. It's something you used to see more back in the day, that there were things that like just used as a trailer or like a promotional thing that weren't actually part of the film. Sorry, babe, what?
It used to happen all the time because I
Yeah.
remember a kid watching. I'd be like, "What the fuck? Where was that? It was in the trailer. Why is it not in the movie?" And that used to happen way more than it does nowadays.
Yeah.
To just kind of play like theorist about this. There were rumors that M3GAN was going to get a house at Horror Nights for a while, and those rumors are kind of like at this point, I think they're kind of dead because I
Mhm.
think we kind of have a really good idea of what the big five IPs are going to be right now. And plus, this movie M3GAN 2 was definitely, full disclosure, not a horror movie at all, like not at all. The first one really wasn't either, but this one is much less than the first
Yeah.
one was.
Yeah, for sure.
I like looking at the footage, like that could have been a scrapped Horror Nights commercial easily, like the doll being delivered, a
Yeah.
custodian or something going to it. Like they could have just like, well, we shot this and we're not doing the Horror Nights house. Let's go ahead and repurpose it. That's full like conspiracy theory, but we've been there before where things have been shot for events and then the event's been scrapped. They used it in the trailer with no intention of ever turning it into something else. At least for these, like the Blumhouse stuff, like they I know they overshoot those movies a little bit. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a different production company. Blumhouse is actually more on the line of like it's got to be in this budget. We got to keep the budget, shoot necessary stuff. So I would imagine if there's two scenes that are that big that were cut, they were probably either like very hard to cut or shot for something else, some additional promotional material.
Yeah. But please continue, Ashlyn. Go ahead.
Sorry. Tangent, guys. Sorry. We run away and then we come back. So anyways, with the second film here, it was a pleasant surprise. I mean, to what Steven was saying though, with the layering, I actually really like that, but that's just because I like when things have multiple layers, when things are highbrow comedy, when that's just my thing. I enjoy that a lot. Having the extra context and the whole like real life implications of this was a very interesting plot line to me. That was like a subplot line throughout this whole thing. And like us, you know, the reality of like, she's now like someone who, you know, Gemma's character is someone who is in this industry that created this, that works with AI. And she's trying to find that middle ground because she doesn't hate technology, obviously, but she also wants to advocate for safer laws and things like that around the technology, responsible use. And then as
You
Steve,
wouldn't give your kid cocaine. Why would you give them technology?
Did anyone else feel convicted by that? Like, that was actually kind of a good point. Being addicted. I'm literally down here looking stuff up about M3GAN, and I'm like on. Ooh, I'm so addicted to my stupid phone. I felt very convicted. I was like, oof, right in the existence, right in the reality.
That's right. Take that bump, sir. Ashley,
Yep.
sorry for interrupting.
but it was, no, you're good. This is all why we do this. It's fun. Like, feel free. But I also, on the other hand, you see the extremist side of it, right? Like the guy who's like, you know, with Christian in his, you know, how he's just like trying to take it too far, that now, oh no, because I've seen the worst, because the obvious play on Xerox was so funny to me with this, with the printer, the fact that the whatever Xenon or whatever they called it, but it was obviously talking about Xerox with the printer and the chip and everything, was one of those little winks and nudges that was just so funny and highbrow humor.
I love the tour guide thing.
Oh my god!
he's talking to other people. The guy's like,
he's like, and no, what? You don't have to worry, guys. The bathroom is right here.
Like, that was a joke that just serves no purpose to the plot. It's just funny. Like, someone just was like, this would be funny to do.
Nobody laughed like when not when you and I saw it, but when Ashley and I watched it. Like, her and I are the only ones laughing at that moment.
So funny. It's such a funny moment.
As a person that like has been on tours like that and stuff, like, it reminded me of when we went to Atlanta and did like the Coca-Cola tour or whatever. But I could just imagine it being like, because of the specificness of this, like this, like such a sad tour, because it's just like,
well, we feel that pain because we work in the theme parks too. So like we've been on both sides. Like, we might not be tour guides, but we've been on both sides of an exchange like that, where we've been like the one or two people in a group that's being toured, or we've been the person like talking about something and the people in front of us don't give a shit of what's happening. Like,
have you guys done the behind the scenes tour thing at Epcot for the?
We wanted to.
I did it on a whim one day. I was at Epcot picking something up, and I was just in there to get a soda. And I just like, hey, are there any spots? They had one spot left, and it was fun, but it was really awkward because everyone else is with somebody. I'm by myself, and the tour guide just came over there, and she got like stood next to me and was like, that's an African whatever plant. It was great, like a fact out of nowhere, and I literally like, oh, hi. Like, she's like, I love these things. Like, it was so like, but it was that whole thing, and she would like gesture to something that wasn't there, and then she'd be like, "Well, they usually are there." I'm like, this is the greatest. I was like, this is the greatest tour of my life. Like, this will never be. I'm like, it's like she got a script and she is sticking with it. And then we hit a point of the tour where there was another person working, but they were working, and she was like, "This is." She started telling us about the person, like the employee, and it was like. I was like, this tour is now about her, and like, oh, she's this, and she's from here, and she's this. I'm like, this is the Becky tour, I guess now. It was so, oh my god, I haven't been. The reason I'm even bringing it up is I haven't been on. I'm not as experienced with tours as you guys are. That's the only like guided tour thing I've ever done in my life, and it was so awkward, and I felt so. I felt like I needed to perform. Like, oh,
yeah.
I didn't even know that. Oh my god! I wouldn't expect that fruit to grow from that plant.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
I love zucchini. Oh my god!
Yes,
I was like,
that zucchini shaped like Mickey. Wow, how did you do that? Oh, with a plastic mold in the shape of Mickey. I would have never guessed it.
That's so impressive because all mine look so phallic. It's incredible. It's incredible. Okay, we need to
like,
return.
she was just so. One more thing. At one point, they let you feed the fish at the end, and I didn't want to get my hands dirty because I was carrying stuff that belonged to other people because I was picking up for something for some friends, and she was so offended. Like she was like, she had it my portion in her hand, and she literally like she could she had it in her hand. She's like, "Well, this is all that it is," and I'm like, "No, I just don't want to like. It's like fish. I just don't want to get like I'm carrying stuff that so that people like I don't like getting my hands dirty. I don't want to take stuff into the bathroom to wash my hands. It's a whole thing." She goes, "Oh." And instead of throwing it into the fish, she walks it over there, maintaining a full eye contact with me, and dumps it back in the container. like, wow, like fully like the like
That was
slowly
a move of her. It was serving.
Oh my god.
It's fine.
Yes. As a matter of fact, it was. Yeah, it was great. Best like $50 I've ever spent. It was so funny. Anyway, sorry. Now I'm done. I promise. I'm done about the tour.
It's okay. I was about to make a super awkward transition and be like, well, since we're speaking of phallic.
Ooh, nice. Wait, are we talking about 28 years later now? I mean, this review shift the you said phallic, and I was like, oh.
We haven't seen that yet, so we can't talk about it.
Ooh, spoiler alert, penises. Spoiler alert. That's yeah, when you see it, you'll know. Spoiler alert.
28 penises later. Let's move on.
It really is.
You did miss another new addition, which was the little dick energy FBI agent guy. That just
yeah.
The actual fuck. Like,
wow, I forgot about that guy.
Oh my god. I mean, because in real life he would be the most like just ill-remembered person ever. Like you wouldn't blink two eyes at him, just perfect.
He called the Secretary of State or Secretary of Defense, he called her by her first name.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, Carol. I'm like, oh my god, what an a-hole.
No. Actually, I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be the president. He said Madam Secretary. That's the term that they use whenever it's a female president, right?
No.
No, sir.
No.
I'm so confused.
We're gonna edit. Hold on. Break. You need to edit that out. Like you need to edit that. We're that's slightly misogynist.
What?
A female president is referred to as a secretary?
No.
All right, I'll edit it out. Can we move on?
Yes, of course you can.
Oh Lord.
Well, yeah, but she was like he referred to whatever position she had as like her first name. Like it's like it was just so disrespectful. Like he was the creepier than Megan ever was in Megan Part 1. That is the creepiest part of the Megan movie series is that guy. And I can't. I'm mad at you for reminding me he existed, Ashley, because he was gross.
Sitting there like white knuckle gripping the damn chair, just like so angry at this whole man's existence and just the whole just clueless, misogynistic, failing upwards in life, middle-aged man with a mustache. Just
hey, I don't have a mustache.
Somebody like
I'm still talking about the character. Okay, sorry.
Yes. I was just like, this clueless prick. Just what a dumbass. Like, so self-important. Like, all us women have dealt with this type of man before. It's 100%. We all have dealt with this type of man in the workplace. Just like, dear God, the entire time. She
was so happy when he got impaled and so upset when she realized he's
I was like, finally, this dick is gonna die. And Megan's like, you'll be fine. You're gonna live.
He literally, when he got impaled, she goes, finally. She goes, I heard her out loud say,
thank God. I like when Megan says he's reaching when he's trying to convince her to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, I loved the integration of how they brought M3GAN in, like how she's just, just, AI, whatever. It's just her code that exists in the smart house or whatever, and everything like that. And then which bring like, so then we get I think the biggest aha moment for me that was just like, was a shock and a twist, was the fact that like the whole lair underneath the house.
Yes.
Where they just pull the door open and they're like, oh, that we didn't know that existed. And then you get down there and it's just like, it was M3GAN all along. Like, and so that was such a good twist and everything. But like, because everyone's like, when it comes to Gemma, they're like, how the fuck do you afford this house and all this stuff? Like, for
this
$3,000.
kick-ass pad, and it was like
that was okay. That was a funny line from that jerk. This kick-ass house. But see that I think there was a very simple solution to that would have, just to play like armchair screenwriter. There's a very simple solution to that would have deepened the conflict between Gemma and Katie, is if she knew M3GAN was still alive the whole time, and that she had constructed this house with M3GAN, and M3GAN had done all this shady shit to get the money and to fund their new company and all this other stuff. They could have deepened the plot a little bit by explaining that. But I will tell you right now, I have not heard one person, either the people we saw the movie with or Andrew again, anybody, been like, man, I was enjoying the movie until they showed the lair, and I was like, how did M3GAN do that? Nobody, like, it's like, of course M3GAN, like in the guy, when she shows the robot laboratory, it's like, of course M3GAN has that. Of course
I love the throwaway line that she does where she's like, what's the little girl's name? I forget. Katie. She's like, Katie doesn't need to understand the finer points of credit fraud or whatever.
So funny. I literally died.
Oh my God.
But overall, I just thought like this movie was so much funnier. The whole like Terminator 2 situation type thing with having.
Did anybody else want her to do the thumbs up? Is it just me?
Desperately.
I wanted it so bad.
But here's the problem. They do that in Elia, the new Pixar movie, in a really great way. They reference that scene from Terminator. So I was kind of like, and it's funny because Justine and I were talking about that. I was kind of like, that was good enough for me. Like, that was my Terminator fix for the week, because we saw Elia earlier in the week. She'll get there. They'll melt her down in one of these movies. They'll melt her.
But
it'll happen.
The whole like way that the evil robot was Amelia and everything like that, like, very much gave me like T2 vibes with the bad robot. It definitely,
especially the body, like the body.
Yeah. But like, honestly, not in a bad way. It's not like it was, it was very much like winking and nudging and paying homage to what came before without feeling cheap or copycatting. And so I thought that was all really good, and I just found this one so much funnier. I did miss a little bit of the gore because of the inhibitor chip with her not being able to harm humans. I kind of felt like that was one of the only things missing. Like, she had like, they supplemented it with the whatever the type of karate, Krav Maga type stuff it was that she was studying, but like, I was missing the little bit of the murder plot from this one of having M3GAN actually being able to hurt people and everything like that. So I did miss that. I liked Katie's character better in this now that she's a little older, a little mature, and she's learning all the code and she's trying to bring M3GAN back, even though she doesn't know M3GAN's been here the whole time. And like the choice where Gemma actually makes the choice to save M3GAN and not get rid of her. She's like, yeah, no, you're a psychopath. And then the little kick of where she's like, tells him, you were never my type anyway.
And his response is, I'll see what we can do about that.
He says, I'll have my team look into it.
Yeah.
That was honestly, that was a little, I don't know about you guys, but that whole scene, like, that whole scene with the chip came off super rapey to me. I don't know, like, super rapey, like,
non-consensual,
Yeah.
Like,
and you were mentioning earlier, Stephen, with like his delivery with some of this stuff.
Oh,
And
so
he in that whole scene is just that, like, he's just chewing scenery, but it's fucking working in that moment. Like, it's super uncomfortable, but he's nailed.
Mhm.
And I love the part where he's just like, "Yeah, we're probably gonna kill, your two assistants. I don't really get what they do."
Even though he literally just offered them a job. And
yeah.
we're
Oh my god. The other funny part was the vent scene where he grabs the
Oh.
rock off and chloroforms himself, and he ends up being the one that's the only man knocked down when he wakes back up. I was like, oh shit, this is all gonna fall on Dum Dum. Oh, I'm so here for it though.
That's so mean, actually. Dumb. He's not dumb. He's just tired of working for free. I've been there. He's tired of startups. I feel his pain.
Ashland, these are gym muscles. I've never won a fight in my life.
Oh my
That was so good. What a good line.
Honestly was so good. Oh, it was just so funny. The one thing with like Christian and like when Megan's having the conversation with Gemma about how she knows that he's not her.
What was better about that is Ashlyn, I think she was focusing on something else that was happening, and she wasn't fully listen or able to hear possibly what Megan was saying. And I was like, "You understand what she just said, right?" And she goes, "No," and I had to tell her. It was like I was cracking up.
Gemma's road to sexual discovery or sexual awakening.
It was like, yeah, I don't know what the exact wording was, but it was fantastic. And then
totally, honestly,
and she does the part where she's fighting, and she's like, "That's weird. Your neural inhibitors are saying that you're worried, but also highly aroused."
And she's just like, "Focus, Megan."
It's totally worth seeing. I picked up on a bunch of little things seeing it again. Ashley, you've only seen it one time, correct? One time. Gotta get. If we go see it a third time, we'll let you know. But I love the scene where I was really curious how they were going to pay off all that inhibitor chip thing, and I could have predicted what they were going to do once I knew Megan was in there. But the payoff of her like fighting all those guys and then be like, oh girl, gotta save something for the other guys. When Megan goes, you want to take this one? And she lets Gemma just get absolutely rocked. Like she let it happen. That was obvious. Like
it's so funny when Gemma's like completely knocked out and she's just like moving her body for
that was some drunken master shit right there.
Oh, so good.
Bernie's level like 20.
Actually brings up a point to you guys' earlier assertions about the trailer. Do you remember the line in the trailer where she tells the Amelia that she can kill Gemma, just don't hurt Katie in the trailer?
Yes.
Remember that? Yeah, there's no place for that. That's completely like and like antithetical to the plot. And like it was, which is mostly a Gemma Megan story. Like it's their team up, their buddy movie. That's what it was.
I was gonna mention, like, when you were running through like all the different points, and you were saying, like, if you were trying to, on like surface level explain this to somebody, like what the story is and plot is, and just how absolutely ridiculous that is. I love that they kind of did that in the movie at the beginning when she's trying to get her friend to help her, set Megan up into the little Teletubby thing. And her friend is kind of like hitting all the bullet points of like, you want to rebuild a murderous robot to go after a different murderous robot. It's like, that sounds ape shit or something like that. I was like, yes, absolutely.
Oh man.
Like, I love that. I don't always love when movies do that, but when it's the right film and they do it in the right way, and you just completely, you're just, that what you're doing is dumb, but you're gonna play into it and you're gonna essentially like bring it to the forefront. I thought that was really funny. I love the little Teletubby thing. That thing was so funny.
It's a big movie season for. I know you haven't seen 28 Years Later. Big movie season for Teletubby references. Just gonna say.
I heard something about that with 28.
We need you guys need to see it because that is that would be such an interesting review. Um, but yeah, Megan's so good. Do you
Yeah.
guys hope that she? Do you guys hope that now that you guys, because like you said, Andrew, you guys are like more like new into it. Do you guys would you guys be more excited to see her at Horror Nights this year if she shows back up with the dance troupe or like the Blumhouse like Scare Zone? Would you be more excited about her?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be excited to see her. I think I'd be more excited if they did a house for like
Yeah.
obviously based off of the first movie, not the second movie, but I think I'd be more excited about that than just what they've been doing with the whole like, oh, she's on a platform or the dance troupe or something like that. Personally, I think that the house could be a lot of fun. And for all I know, they tend to do have like one fun house anyway. So even if they wanted it to be more off of the sequel to promote the sequel like they do sometimes, there's still ways that you could make that fun and scary at times type of thing. There's definitely something there, but like I said, there's usually a fun house. There's Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, there's things like that, and they're not necessarily scary. So
Yeah.
you can go either direction in that. But I honestly believe if they ever do it, whether it's now or later, they would probably base it off the first movie. I think that it sets itself up more for a house than the sequel.
I think they're gonna do the dance troupe again, but I think they're gonna be wearing the pink armor.
Ah,
That's my prediction. No leaks yet, but that's my prediction. Um, but yeah, she's so good, so
this
good.
was definitely this movie. Like this movie shocked me. Like I actually enjoyed it more the second time than I did the first time when you and I saw it.
Mhm.
I need to
Rewatching
see it.
it, I had a lot more fun with it. And
You'll be invited, Ashlyn. If it happens again, we're stocked up on movies. It seems like the next like 4 weeks are just like the busiest movie season like ever. Like we've got what Jurassic Park,
yep,
then that rolls into Superman, and then that rolls into Fantastic Four, right? Like
yep.
week, maybe there might be 1 week in there, but oh no, we have a very very important movie coming out on the 18th to bridge Superman and Fantastic Four, which I know we're all very excited about here, right? I know what you did last summer.
Oh, jeez.
I got tickets for it. I got tickets. I'll probably leave halfway through and go see Megan 2 again.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Ashlyn might go see that with you. I'm not gonna go see it. I have no interest in that.
You'll do what Ashlyn tells you to do.
Well, Ashlyn, you watched the original ones
I
back.
did. Grew up on all of them. I've
Yeah.
seen it multiple times. It was my first introduction to Jennifer Love Hewitt that I can think of. I almost called her by her other nickname, but
Let's not do.
What's
Let's
her
not do
name,
that.
Ashlyn?
No, not here. We'll do it
Let's
after.
see. What would Jennifer? Let's see. Jennifer. What could you call Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Let's
That would
please.
be like,
I think
man.
we should
I'll
end the
figure it out.
show.
I'll figure it out before the end. I'll figure it out.
I
Yeah,
think
there's got to be.
I think this is a good point to end because now we're starting to spiral off into everything else that's coming. Overall, like I said, I think this was a really good step forward from and I'd like to see more from this. A Megan 3. There's already we were talking outside the show that there's like a movie set in the same world that is going to be centered around called Soulmate. That's not centered around Megan, stuff like that, but set in the same world. So that'll be interesting to see. I think that one's going to be a lot more serious. I think than even like the first one and stuff like that. So that'll be kind of interesting to see as well as far as how that ties into the world at large that they've got with this going on. But real quick, let's do our ratings. Ashlyn, what would you give this out of 10?
For a horror movie / like just for what this is with the campiness and everything, it was fantastic. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Like it's a good time. It was really fun.
It is a good time at the movies. Steven? 10.
A 10 out of 10.
Nice.
It is so much fun. If you If you don't like M3GAN, you're not gonna like it. It's kind of like if you don't like cheese, you're not gonna like a pizza with cheese on it. Just saying, like it's like, what are you going for?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that's a personal. Just to be clear, that is a personal rating for me. If I were gonna objectively judge this movie on the sum of its parts, it'd probably land closer to like a 7 or 8. If we're talking about just like the film itself. But for me and the enjoyment I get out of it, it's a 10 out of 10. I will watch this movie at least one more time in theaters, and then it'll be an every once a month watch for new movies. Just like the first one is. I will probably watch it back to back. John Wick and M3GAN. That's what I watch every month. Well, not every single, but I try to. And I just to piggyback off you earlier, very excited for Soulmates, and hopefully it's not too much like Companion. That's my only hope, that it's not a rehash of Companion.
Yeah, we just need something different than what we
Yeah.
like. Companion was really good, but we just don't need, like you said, a rehash of what's already been done. Need to find its own voice and its own way to tell the story. Which I think is honestly possibly going to be a little bit tough, because I think Companion really nailed that. But yeah, for me, I think I'm probably at like 8.5. For me personally, like I said, a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun at the movies type of film. As Steven said, if you're a fan of M3GAN, go see this movie. If you're not, you can probably skip it, because if you don't like M3GAN to begin with, you definitely not gonna like this movie. But
hold on, I think this could make some believers. The Ashland liked it better than part 1.
Well, no, I didn't mean. I misspoke. I didn't mean if you don't like the first movie. I'm saying if you don't like the character M3GAN and how she is and the way that they portray her, and the things that you've even seen with the trailers for M3GAN 2 and stuff like that, and the way that they're promoting this movie, if you don't get it, like,
that's fair enough. That is fair. That's very fair.
But yes, I do think that there is something to be said that this movie could turn people into fans that weren't before. As far as like that maybe weren't super hyped on the first movie, I think could find a love for it with the second movie. I do think there is that audience as well. Yeah. So it's a bit of both for that. But yeah, it's definitely something.
Get a popcorn bucket.
Oh gosh! Oh man! Shoot! No, but I put it away. I forgot we were doing this, and I put it away. Oh no!
Oh, okay, you did get it.
Oh, the pop. Yeah, well, we got it for Lena. Since I don't have it in front of me, it's a popcorn bucket, but her face peels off, but the face is kind of rubbery, so it's like kind of like the actual. It's creepy in a good way. I have the Jaws popcorn bucket sitting right here that I got, but I don't have the M3GAN one. It was cool. It was very cool. The popcorn, but the merchandise for this movie has been not a lot, but what they've made has been really good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, as always, we want to hear from you. If you've seen this movie, which I hope if you're watching this, you have, please let us know your thoughts on this. What do you think is coming next from the M3GAN franchise? Like, what do you want to see? Who do you want to see her fight next? Is it Chucky? Is it John Wick? Who is it going to be? That M3GAN faces off in the third.
John Wick. Oh yes, please. John Wick versus M3GAN. Oh my god. I'd watch it 100 times.
What a team up. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on this. As always, please subscribe to the channel for more content. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at RetroactivePod. You can follow me at at Andrew is Losing on all social media. Ashland, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me and all my M3GAN glory at BookBrat90 on social media.
And be sure to hold on to your vaginas when you do. Stephen,
good advice. You guys can find me at the 7:15, the 8:45, and the 10:30 showing of M3GAN any night of the week.
Any night of the week.
Every movie theater in Florida.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Sorry. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time, bitches.